Hello there, my college algebra friends. Today we are looking at 2.2, sorry, that's probably loud, 2.2b, finding linear equations. All right? No, I do not want to say that page. All right, so we've been talking a lot about linear equations. So that's what this whole unit's kind of about. So we have an x and a y, where x is to the first power and not being times by y. Usually there's two variables and they're going to be straight lines. Okay? They're going to be straight lines like that. All right, good talk. So we've seen these two equations come up so far in our journey, right? We saw this in 2.1 and 2.2a. So they are linear, and we're going to go back at them again. Again, x to the first, x to the first. Okay. Now, horizontal and vertical lines are going to be something that also comes up. A horizontal line goes this way, horizontally. Does not go up and down. And you go to A, and then it goes left and right. Horizontal. I don't know, that helps me. And you could also think about it is it's on the y-axis, right? You go to your y-axis, find it. You're not going to cross your x-axis for a horizontal line, necessarily. Okay? Or a vertical line, vertical line, I don't know. It's x equals a. That's right, go over or to a, and it goes up and down on the x-axis. It crosses the x-axis, but not the y-axis. Okay? That helps me remember it. Whatever helps you remember it is the tool you need to use. All right. We have a standard form of a line is ax plus by equals c. That's not really used anywhere that I know of. Feel free to comment where it's used. I don't really know. I like this form a lot. Slope-intercept form is really important to me because it gives us the slope of the line is the number in front of your x. And it gives us the y-intercept, which is at b. So we don't have to think about it. And we know that's the y-intercept because when I plug in 0 for x, I'm left with just that b. Okay, we're going to use that equation a lot. So let's graph this following and see what happens. Now, we can graph this by hand. That's a micro view. We can graph this by hand, or we can use our other tools that we have. I'm going to use Desmos and show you how I do it by hand and show you the shortcut way. So we had the equation 3x minus 4. So that minus 4 is going to be where we would start, and I put a dot there, and I go up 3 over 1. I'm just kidding. It's not working how I want it to. So I'm just going to type it in. And you can see when I type in the equation, -4 is my intercept, as it should be. And now as I go right 1, I go up 3. Huh. As every time I go right 1 more, I go up 3 more. Right? Go right 1, up 3. That's what slope is. It's your rise over run. For this one, our slope is 3 over 1. Okay? This one's going to go up 1 and to the right 2. Our slope is 1 over 2. And if you want to see that, I can graph it pretty quick. So that's 1 divided by 2 x plus 3. Again, up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. Okay? So slope is rise over run. Whoa, that's a lot of files. Whoa, that's my family. All right. So slope can also be told as change in y over change in x. change in y, subtract those y's, over change in x. Notice, be consistent when you do this. Those 2 points go together and those 2 points go together. Okay, be consistent. All right, some other things come up when we look at slope of a line. Slope of a horizontal line is 0, which makes sense because a horizontal line does not go up or down over time. So that slope would be 0 over infinity, 0 over some number, which is just 0. A vertical line goes up forever, up and down forever, over 0. And because we cannot divide by 0, we call that undefined. All right, let's do this. Let's find the slope between 2 points and see if we know what we're doing. All right, my slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? This is my point x1, y1. Now, could I switch these points? Yeah, it'd be the same thing. x2, y2. Okay? Again, I could flip-flop both these and it wouldn't matter. So now I can plug in. I'm going to do 4 minus 2 over 9 minus 3. And I get 2 over 6, which reduces to 1 over 3. That's my slope. Now remember, on Desmos, we aren't going to do fractions. We'd have to make that round to the nearest whatever place it tells me to on the video. Okay? Okay. All right, you guys try this one. Pause it, try it, and then I'll go over it. I'll show the work down below. Pew, pew, pew. 10 minus negative 2 over 3 minus negative 1. And that becomes negative 8 over 4, which is negative 2. All right. All right. I lost my... We're going right first. Sorry about that. I had to go back. My recorder was kind of erroring, but we fixed it. All right. Let's find the slope and y-intercept of these. Now, what's nice about these is if we have y by itself, that's y equals mx plus b, where m is my slope and b is my y-intercept. Okay, so for this one, what number's in front of my x here? A 1, right? So my slope is 1. And then my y-intercept is going to be negative 5, right? Because that's my b. So that'd be the point 0, negative 5. Or you could plug in 0 for x like we did last video and solve for it. Either way is fine. All right. So that's pretty quick with those ones. Those are the good ones. Now what do we do with one like this? First thing we got to do is get y by itself. All right. So I'm going to subtract an x, Get 2y equals negative x plus 6. I'm going to divide everything by 2, every piece. So I get y equals negative 1x over 2, right? There's a 1 in front of the x. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So now from here, I have my slope is negative 1/2 or negative 0.5. Depending on if you're Desmosing or real lifing. And my y-intercept is 3. Remember, y-intercept though, your x is 0. That's 3. You can always graph that too to check it and make sure. right, let's try again. I'll do this one. You guys can try that one. So this one's tricky. It's x equals. X equals means I go to my x-axis and I go to 4, and that's going to be a vertical line at x equals 4. Now remember, a vertical line does not cross the y-axis, so there's no intercept, and our slope is infinity over 0, and because we can't divide by 0, it's undefined. Not no slope. It has a slope. It's just undefined. I can't define it. Okay? And the y-intercept, that there is none, because it never crosses the y-axis, hence no y-intercept. Okay? Y'all try this one. Pause the video, try it, and then I'll go over it in 3, 2, 1. Got to get y by itself. So I'm going to subtract that 3x. I'm going to do this one pretty quick. Negative y equals negative 3x plus 5. Divide everything by negative 1. So get y equals 3x minus 5. So my slope is 3. And my y-intercept is 0, negative 5. All right. Now sometimes we have to make a line with given features. Okay? So if we have a slope and y-intercept, we're going to go back to this formula. Uh-oh. And we're going to use the slope and the intercept again. Now, to create a line, I like to do this a different way, but I like this way, so we're going to do it this way. If we find the slope and the b, we can make the equation. Boom. Let's see some examples of this. Find the equation of line whose slope is negative 1/2 and goes through 6, 8. So we could use, there's this thing called the point slope equation. I teach this one in my class. I have a video on it, but I'm going to teach you the y-intercept way because I like that way as well. Both work. Again, you can look up point slope. So let's try it. So I know my m is negative 1/2. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus b. I do not know the intercept. But what I can do is plug in my x and my y, and I can solve for b. So let's do that. So I get negative 8 equals negative 1/2 times 6 plus b. This way is actually pretty easy. I shouldn't say easy. It's just not very many steps. So I get negative 8 equals negative 3 plus b. Add the 3 over. Get negative 5 equals b. So now I have a b and I have an m. That's everything I need for my y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to do y equals my slope, my m, times x, minus my b. Or plus, it depends if it's negative or positive. Alright? Alright? So I'm just plugging in my x and my y and solving for b. Find the equation of a horizontal line that goes through 5, negative 9. The big thing I got to remember is a horizontal line x equals or y equals. So horizontal means it goes this way. right? Oops, I didn't draw this one, but that's fine. Horizontal means it's going to be y equals. Y equals what? Whatever your y value is. -9. There we go. If it's vertical, it's x equals whatever the x coordinate is. And if you want proof of that, you could always do, you know, y equals, the slope would be 0 x plus b. And again, when you solve that and plug in 5, you get y equals -9. Either way you do it. Okay? That eraser's too big. Alright, pause the video, try this one, and then I'll go over it really quick and you can check yourself and see how you did. I'm going to do the problem in 3, 2, 1. Y equals 4x plus b. Plug in your x and your y. So I got what? That's 8. Subtract the 8 over. -7 equals b. Yep. Again, I'm doing this relatively quick. So I do y equals my slope -7. There we go. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Alright, this problem's going to be a little bit different. It's going to take a little bit more time, but that's fine. We can do it. Find the equation line that travels through these 2 points. Alright, so now I don't have a slope or an intercept. I don't have either. So first, let's find our slope. Now to find slope, we're going to do that formula. Right? Watch earlier in the video if you forgot. So I'm going to do my y's minus each other over my x's. So that becomes -8 over 4, which is -2. So now I have a slope. So I'm going to do y equals -2x plus b. Now, which point should I plug into that equation to find b? Doesn't matter. I'll get the same answer either way. Okay, so I could plug in this one. So I'll plug in my x, plug in my y. So it becomes -2 equals 2 plus b. So -4 equals b. Okay? And now I have a y-intercept. I have a slope. So I'm going to do y equals my slope times x plus my b. Alright. Alright. So I got pulled away. So go ahead and try this problem. Do it just like the last one. I will go over it in 3, 2, 1. Rapid fire. Slope equals 1 minus -1 over -4 minus -3. So that's 2 over 1. So slope is 2. I'm checking that really quick. I did that really quick. Whoa, 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 -2. And that's why we check ourselves. So I do my y equals -2x plus b. Just grab one of these and plug it in. Again, if you see me make a mistake, please help me fix it. I have notes, but I just go rogue a lot of the time. Plug it in. So I get -1 equals what? 6 plus b. So -7 equals b again. Well, that's wild. So I'm going to do y equals -2x minus 7. All right. Okay. Okay. You're going to do this problem the exact same way the other two. It says the x-intercept. Just yeah, you do it the exact same way. You have 2 points. Find the slope first. Dr. Webster has that video posted. How to do it. Last one we're going to talk about parallel versus perpendicular lines. So two lines are parallel if their slopes are the same. They're perpendicular if they're opposite reciprocals. Let me show you real quick. So if I make another line that has a slope of 1/2, they have the same slope, so they go the same direction. Now if I want to be perpendicular, what I'd actually have to do is flip this, so it'd be 2/1, and make it negative. Now they intersect at a right angle. They're perpendicular. Parallel, same slope. Perpendicular, you have to flip it and negate it. So to be perpendicular, one has to be positive, one has to be negative. That always works that way. Let's see what I do with this then. So find the equation of line that's parallel to this beast and travels through the point 1, 6. Hey, that's the line we just found. So I need two things. I need a slope and I need an intercept. Now for slope, I take the line given to us, and because it's parallel, I just steal that slope. Okay? So then I'm going to do my y equals my slope times x plus b, and I'm going to plug in the point they want me to. So I plug in the 6, I plug in the 1. So 6 equals 2 plus b, so 4 equals b. So I have a b, I have an m. That's it. That's all there is to it. It looks worse than it actually is. Okay? Like me. Alright, let's see one more. I'll have you guys try one, and then we'll be done. So now, this one says find the equation line that is perpendicular to y equals -3/4 x plus 9 and travels through 8, 1. Now for my slope, I can't just steal this one. Since it's perpendicular, what I have to do is I have to flip it and change that sign. That sign has to go away then. Flip it, change the sign. Alright? So my slope is 4/3. So I do my y equals 4/3 x plus b. Plug in my point. Alright, so I get 1 equals e. This does not work out well. That's okay. 8 times 4 is 32. 32 divided by 3 is 10.6 repeating. 10.67, gross. Alright, I'm going to do this as, I would usually keep this as a fraction, but because we're using Moodle a lot, I'm going to actually keep this as a decimal. Okay? So then I'm going to subtract those. Oopsie doodle. I lost my thing again. Sorry about that. I had to get my recorder. So I subtract that 10.607 over. I get negative 9.67 equals b. So I have a slope. I have a b. And that's all I need. X minus 9.67. All right. All right, as always, you guys go ahead and pause this, write it, try it, and I'll go over it in 3, 2, 1. So my slope, that's 5/1, so it's going to be -1/5. Flip it, negate it. -1/5. That's it. Oh, Jiminy Crickets, that didn't help. All right, so do y equals -1/5 x plus b. Plug in my x and my y. Pew. Right? So that becomes -3/5. 0.6 add over, so I get 8.6 equals my b. So y equals negative 1 over 5. Or 0.2, negative 0.2x if you're using Desmos. And there you go. Ask questions where needed, and have a great day.